Lobby ID 4367.
Well, and here goes the game. We are getting started. We're looking at the Tulin ban right away on the blue side.
And for these games, Cynical's going to be doing the play-by-play. So I'm going to be trying to keep up with his calls. So we'll see how it goes. Just call out whatever lane I need to be in. And hopefully we get it right from there.
I think we'll be okay. You were usually looking where I was looking in my game anyway, so I don't think we're really going to have much of an issue.
Nice. This instant synergy.
I mean, you've played the game enough. You know where shit's going to go down, and you're like, oh yeah.
This is where it's going to happen. Yo, guys, if you are not in this game, but you want to play in the Greenhouse League, 4367. Hop in. Lobby ID 4367. Just because you are not in the game being casted does not mean you cannot play in the Greenhouse League.
We've got the red side picking up the teamy, so we get to get our pooty poots on. I know we were looking for that last game, and they teased us and switched off at the last second.
Duels must have been stream sniping and hurt our disappointment. Really not fluctuating too much in any of these picks.
Yeah, blue team almost looks like an exact repeat of something we've seen like every game so far. The red team is completely different almost though than what we've seen in the last couple games. So they do need something very heavy in the front line here, I think, though. I think they're slightly on the squishy side.
Crest was there. Just throwing it out there. But Crest untaken this game. Or banned.
I think the thing, too, with NA is a lot of people haven't had the ability to get a lot of characters yet. So they're kind of picking from, like, a limited player pool.
That's always been a big complaint.
And that's why we need no gold cap.
And hopefully we'll see the... Well, I mean, with Worlds coming up in July, we have to see at least them all before then, right? So.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, because there's nothing more that sucks than when, you got to fill some kind of role and your team needs something. You're like, I don't even have that character to play it.
Or if you pick for somebody else and they don't have the hero that you can switch with.
Yeah, I've seen that before. And they're like,
You want to give a rundown of the lineups?
Yeah, sure. We've got Zephy's on, or Spaced on Zephy's. We've got Expectation on the Slims. We've got Lich King on the Chognar. We got Tony the Tiger on Ormar. And we've got JQ Norman, on the Arthur. On the red side, we've got Dual Spirals locking in the Team A. We've got Goldfish Brain rocking the Wonder Woman. We've got PYG Plays rocking the Zill. And then we've got JBZ on the Yorn and Burbush on the Diao-chan. So it's going to be a pretty interesting lineup. Blue side is looking a little bit stronger at this point. They've got that really huge amount of tankiness, and if Expectation can stay in the back lines, it's going to be quite frightening because they're going to be able to take a lot.
Middle lane, a little skirmish breaking out.
Looks like it's going down there. Lich King does get caught out. He's able to get back under the tower, though, without actually going down or dying. I was sitting there looking at the jungle invade. I was thinking something was going to go on down there. Tony the Tiger, though, jumping down on dual spirals, but he's able to get out with the Pooty Poots, locking in that stun.
Fairly even game so far. The rotations have been pretty on point.
Dual Spirals jumping in with the Pooty Poos, trying to lock them down. Expectation was able to jump out. Arthur is kind of getting caught on the sideline there. They are trying to chase, but Arthur does have the speed to get out of there. No problem, so nothing was able to be actually picked up at that point. Oh, Tony the Tiger and dual spirals going on in the middle of the jungle here. It looks like he was able to lock that Pooty Poots. Dio-Chan isn't able to put in the damage, though, from behind. It's not going to be enough. They might actually get caught out here, though. Wonder Woman coming in with the rotation, locking in the whip. It looks like they're going to grab Space here. Space goes down, and so does Tony the Tiger. Expectation is able to get out, so that gives them 2 kills for the 1 there. So that, I mean, that was a pretty good trade on Red Side's part there.
It stinks that their jungler went down, but anytime that your ADC can stay alive in a team fight and be around for the end of it is a bonus in my book.
Definitely, because that gives you really good tower defense potential and just clearing the wave and keeping that away. That was a really beautiful rotation, though, from Red Side's part. They all came in on that very fast and made sure to protect them.
Yeah, the biggest difference there between the two teams was just their decisiveness. Red team looked a little hesitant before they engaged, whereas blue team just went in. Middle lane, though.
Whoo! Getting caught in under the tower. I didn't think they were actually going to be able to grab that kill, but they were able to pick it up, no problem. Lich King, though, getting it with, like, no health. Dual spirals going in under the tower. Was he able to... He wasn't able to pop his ult, though, to save him. So there was a 1-for-1 trade in there. I think Dual Spirals was going to try and pop that ult to revive himself, but I don't think he quite got it.
He looked like me in ESL yesterday.
It happens. Expectation, though, getting caught out. Wonder Woman grabs the whip, also drops the bracelets of submission, and locks down Expectation and getting that kill.
Red team's got a little bit of a gold lead at this point.
Yeah, they've been extremely aggressive in just being able to pick everyone up and really putting blue team on the defensive, and I think this is what they needed. Pig Play's getting caught out, though. Lich King going in for the defensive, but Dual Spirals was able to pick that off there and keep him locked down so that Dio-Chan could pick up that kill. We've got an Expectation going in on the Dio-Chan, though. Tony the Tiger going in with that backup to stun them down. Dual Spirals just trying to defend the tower here. Oh, they were able to stun him. This might have cost him his life. No, they were too afraid to engage under the tower.
It's a nice little stun combo there. With no health, just diving in no fear against the Omar and the Slims.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wow, that was a ballsy move that worked out so well.
Oh, another big arrow was landed. No follow-up. Now, the only thing else to mention here is this Yorn has really just been down here farming. And there's one hero I'm scared of more late game than Violet. It might be a Yorn.
Yeah, he has the ability to pump out so much damage.
Top lane, though, around the Sentinel.
And we've got Space going down. Pig Plays was able to jump out after grabbing that kill. Chognar does lock him down, though, and is able to pick him up. He'll probably be able to get out. Wonder Woman with the nice lasso to catch up, so he might not be able to get out. Dual Spirals getting that Pooty Poots for the kill.
Dual Spiral seemed to has the Pooty Poots on lock, but the being a bro is what's really holding back his teamy play here.
Oh, here it goes. Oh, I think it didn't. Oh, he did just catch that at the last second. I thought it went down. Oh, the tower does take him, though. They were able to pick up a double kill in that situation, which was definitely a nice turnaround for them, just because blue was starting to fall behind in the actual gold. And now this gives them the advantage to kind of push a tower and possibly get a little bit of that back.
They're also going to go for the red invade, which they were able to secure. Anytime you have a man advantage on the field or player advantage, it's really your best move to pressure.
Space, though, was able to 1v1 Pig Plays. It was a very, very close fight with Expectation just putting a tiny bit of damage to help him out there.
Those couple kills in the tower swung the blue team back in the lead here. Dragon's the next major objective on the field.
And this is what I was kind of afraid of looking at the lineups is blue side's got a way better blue side's got the way better like mid to late game where red kind of has that really early game advantage.
Oh, big ultimate from the Omar there, keeping expectation alive.
Lich King, though, and Tony the Tiger both going down. Dual Spirals getting out with, like, no health. Space trying to get out. His passive was keeping him alive for quite a long time, but he just wasn't able to finesse away. Norman, though, getting caught out because he was just standing there in the middle when so many people were around. That's kind of one thing you don't want to do. If you see everyone die, just kind of back up under the tower just a little bit.
Just like that, they get a tower. Probably a dragon.
Yeah, that's going to give them the easy dragon. And now we're finally starting to see JBZ come into the fights, which is where you were saying before this could turn into a monster because they've just kind of let him farm on the bot lane. And he's already, got his first item and he has his boots and he's working on his second item already.
Yeah, that's the difference between a free-farming Yorn and a free-farming Arthur joining a fight. Arthur has pretty much matched the Yorn play for play, but Yorn just brings that much more to a team fight.
Definitely, and that's the extra damage I think the red side needs because they need to apply a lot of damage because they don't have a super strong front line, so they have to be way more careful with their plays. Tony the Tiger getting froze out, though. Dual Spirals going in, trying to stun him down. Tony the Tiger did try to dash away, but Pig was able to pick up that kill, leaving Lich King to run back to the tower.
We have 4 in mid. Slim's just opting to split push at this point.
Space jumping in on the Wonder Woman. They just don't have the damage, though, to really pin anything down. Rest of Red Team coming up in behind for that rotation, grabbing Space and Lich King, which is also going to give them this mid lane tower no problem, and they might even be able to push the high tower, which is going to be really bad for the blue side. Expectation getting caught out. Dual Spirals is getting fairly low, but he's still engaging. He was able to use just a bro there to save himself. This is not looking good for blue team right now.
They have opted to let the Arthur just continue split pushing. He will get a tower. They were able to take the tier 2 top lane as well. So if they can hold this mid lane push, it's in the end it's not the worst trades. They were able to take down the bottom tier 2 as well. So despite being completely outmanned in the team fights there, they were able to maintain their gold lead just by the split pushing. And hold on to their base towers.
And that's the best thing you can do is just look for those trades when something is going awry. Just try and get as much as you can elsewhere. Looks like it's going to go down under the dragon here, though. Dual Spirals is engaging to try and stop that. Pig is getting caught out in the backline. He pops the ult to keep himself alive, barely staying alive. That was definitely a nice play there. Tony the Tiger, though, getting stuck down. Lich King barely getting out in the backline. Looks like Pig does eventually go down. Space, Norman, and Tony the Tiger go down, which is leaving Expectation all by himself, and the Wonder Woman just engaged on top of that, like, you're mine.
Daichan did a really nice job of holding her ultimate until the other team fully committed, and she knew that there weren't very many stuns available left in the team fight. A lot of Daichans would have popped their ultimate really early there, and it would have hit really nobody, or she would have gotten interrupted. But she held it, and once the blue team fully committed in, it landed on 2 or 3 of them for pretty much the entire duration too.
And that's what red team needs to do because they don't have a super strong front line, so they kind of have to wait until most of those abilities are down to really lay in the damage. And the Wonder Woman was doing a really good job too for just peeling, like they almost lost 2 of their damage dealers right away.
Oh,
Looks like this is going to
Darkslayer
go
attempt.
down.
Yeah.
Definitely. Lich King going in, popping the ult to try and slow them down. It looks like they're going to get pulled down here, though, because they're going in one by one. They weren't all together before they pumped in. So Space, Lich King, Tony the Tiger are going down, and they only were able to grab that Wonder Woman. Expectation, though, with this is done on big plays, grabbing him down, dual spirals going in, and also falling to Expectation. That was very nice of him, considering he had such little health.
What a cleanup from Expectation.
Yeah, those were beautifully landed stuns.
With the Fafnir and the Soul Reaver, he's 8-3 at this point, sitting atop of the net worth chart. So as long as they can keep the Slims alive at this point, they'll be fine. But if they lose the Slims in any of their team engagements, he is a large portion of their net worth right now.
Definitely. And I think all they really need to do is just not... Because what's happening right now is they're kind of engaging one by one. So it gives Red Team that time to kind of take someone down before the rest really commit on the fight. And then it's always leaving Expectation by himself to hopefully clean up a couple or, you know, kind of run with his tail between his legs at this point, right?
Yeah, they're leaving a lot up to chance.
Arthur, though, jumping in on top of Pig Plays, which is not going to work out for them. At least he was able to get away and they weren't giving that kill. But that's, again, kind of the same thing we were talking about. People are jumping in by themselves. Space, though, jumping in on 3 of them in the bush. They are going to go actually in and start the follow-up. This is where we might see things changing a little bit. Pig Plays going really low health. Was trying to use his ult to keep himself alive, but it wasn't enough. Expectation doing a really good job at jumping into the back lines and just pinning down and laying in that damage. Woo!
They're all dead.
We got a double ace.
They're all dead.
Well, for 20 seconds, we're not going to see too much on the battlefield. You know what? That was great to see. Oh, man. And that was beautiful for Blue side. I mean, they picked up the ace and the dragon.
Yes. And the other cool thing to note here is all the creep waves are pushing in Blue's favor. It might be a race to Darkslayer when everybody gets up. We'll see. The red team will have to defend all 3 of these waves at the same time, though. If the blue team all goes, they can get this Darkslayer real quick.
Yeah, it definitely gives them the advantage. It looks like they're going to grab their jungle, though, before they go down. So I don't think we're going to see it. That early advantage.
Not with your 2 main DPS on the bottom side of the map. Red team has responded to all the creep waves at this point. They're in position. Or at least approaching the Darkslayer.
Oh, and they're definitely going to go in on it. And this is going to give Blue the advantage to kind of jump on them when they're already taking damage from the Darkslayer. Dual Spirals does get caught out, but he's able to keep himself alive. He did pop the ult a little bit too early, though. I don't think that's going to give him the actual revive. Oh, it just caught the actual revive on that, but it's a little bit too late. They applied way too much damage in that fight, and they were able to pick up the ace on the red side. Wow.
Expectations positioning was really fantastic on that team fight. He was just in the back behind everybody on his team, just far enough to where they had to go through his team to get to him, and they just funneled right into him, and he just popped his ultimate and just went to town. The splash damage taking over.
Definitely. And, you know, maybe that would have been the better play. I thought, you know, we would have seen Blue go on the Darkslayer when they were, you know, stuck pushing the minion waves, but that worked out way better in their favor. And they were a little bit behind, so that may have been the better move, definitely, for them.
They get 1 tower for sure. They might get 2 if they don't clean up these creep waves. Ooh, and it's going to be alive with just a sliver of health.
Dual Spirals, though, going in hard. I thought he was going to engage there. Looks like he's just trying to keep vision here on the Darkslayer to not give them that. Pig Plays, though, getting caught out, barely able to shift into the background. Diochan, though, popping that ultimate, catching 2 of them in that. Expectation, though, using the wall to his advantage, just poking them over the edge. He is going to get caught out by Pig Plays, though. And so down goes the Lich King. Now, this is going to be a little bit bad. They've only got Tony the Tiger up, and they're going to be able to easily grab this Darkslayer, which could turn the tides of this for Red side.
even know if Omar was in that fight. Or for much of it at all.
I don't think he was either. I got a little bit excited there because Dao-Chan just again
decimated
yes,
the other team
with the perfect timed ult. You know, like we said there before, he holds it to that right moment because a lot of with their team comp on blue side, Dao-Chan can be stopped in an instant and make her completely useless most of the time.
Ooh.
JBZ getting caught out in the mid lane though. The stuns just locked him completely down.
Maybe a little too happy after that last fight. Felt good. He just didn't have anybody backing him up.
Yeah, he was where they needed to be, you know? Like, let's push the lane, let's go down mid, let's capitalize on this Darkslayer buff. But it was all alone.
Now, they don't have Yorn up for another 15 seconds. Despite having the buff, they really need to stall this out for a little bit.
Definitely, and that is a little unfortunate for Red Team just because that Darkslayer buff could have been a moment for them to capitalize, possibly even win the game. Big Plays does get stuck down under the stuns, but they were able to stop it. Dao-Chan with the freeze on the rest of the team. Oh, they're jumping in on top of Dual Spirals. Dual Spirals is able to get out the back. Wonder Woman, however, does get caught out.
Oh, what a big freeze from Dao-Chan, and the whole team gets caught.
Holy. Dao-Chan is almost like the savior for Red Team here with the amazing freezes and these well-timed ults. Poor Norman, he's trying his best to run away. Barely able to get away.
Juking and jiving the whole way.
He's their only little bit of defense. He needs to stall a little bit, but it's going to be really hard. There's 20 seconds left, and I think Red Team might be able to capitalize here.
They have no creeps. It's going to be a... Oh, they have one catapult coming in behind. Arthur's going to get melted.
Yeah, this one catapult will be enough, though. It looks like they're going to engage anyways. JBZ's got the damage to take out the core, no problem, with PYG taking the damage there.
I don't know who actually got MVP, but Dao-Chan's MVP in my book.
I would have to agree. Like, those freezes, saving the ult for the right times, with the other team having so many different stuns to make that ult completely useless, like that, those were some beautiful plays.
21 assists. 28 assists for Dual Spirals. MVP is going to be JBZ on the Yorn. Expectation takes it home for the losing team.
And like we figured, though, Dao-Chan is the leader in the damage with like 120